me start with a big word, a confusing word, paradox. Strong Ground is a fascinating, brilliant new book by Brené Brown. This diva from Texas, she talks about how life is full of paradoxes. For example, many entrepreneurs right now feel like they have no time at all, and yet at the very same moment, many of us actually have more time than ever. How so? Well, why? Let's listen to Brown. Because people often assume that Brown is a psychologist, but she's actually a social worker. She spends her time studying how business leaders of large and small organizations navigate real world complexities. And it made me remember something crucial to my work. Our problem isn't time. The problem is how we manage ourselves within the chaos around us, be it wars with Iran, political conniving, illness, or whatever. So in the next few minutes, I want to show you 3 lessons from this difficult period and what it's teaching us entrepreneurs, about focus, productivity, and leadership. But before we dive in, if you're new here, this channel is part of the 172 group. We work with founders, we work with consultants, small business owners, those people who want to move from scattered activity to structured growth. We're talking about clarity, we're talking about results, we're talking about growth. We're a growing community, and if our work is relevant to you, which I hope it really is, consider subscribing, because we regularly share here practical ideas to help you build a more resilient and focused business. And if you want to go deeper, I'll also be running a webinar in a few days' time, expanding on all these details, on all these ideas, and the details we're going to share with our wonderful subscribers. So let's take the first point and that is a lesson about ownership. Brené Brown points out that during a crisis, it often feels that we lose ownership of our time. The events that we just simply can't control, but they dictate our own schedules. The kids are at home, work routine disappears, news cycles dominate our attention. But this is exactly where leadership begins, because leadership is the moment when someone, hopefully yourself, says, I can't control the environment around me, but I can control my response to that environment. Now, one practical method I've been suggesting to my clients at this time is incredibly, I would say, simple to institute. Negotiate with your partner 1 protected hour per day. Not 8 hours, not 7, 1. That hour is yours. Is it an ideal work day? Of course not. It's just 1 hour. But an hour where your partner or whoever handles the noise and interruptions so that you can focus on the one activity that moves your business forward that day. 1 hour of deep focused effort can often produce more value than a distracted 8-hour day. So the goal isn't perfect productivity. What we're looking for here is consistent momentum. My second insight for you is about reframing your progress. I've heard it said quite a number of times in the past 10 days, like, I've only got a little bit done today or the past few days. But compared to what I ask, when the context changes, the definition of progress must change as well. Let me give you an example. I was recently talking to an owner, a co-owner of a small independent theatre group. And his goal was very simple. Create a social media presence and then reach out to potential supporters. Now, in a normal week, this person might well have created a Facebook or Instagram page, contacted dozens of people, started promoting events. But this week, well, because of the Iranian war and what have you, they managed to brainstorm some sort of page structure for the Instagram, and they identified a few dozen people that they need to contact. But that was it. At least that's what they said. That's it. That's not much. But in reality, it's excellent progress in a disrupted environment because focused thinking and planning are often the hardest steps. The lesson here is as follows. Measure progress relative to your circumstances, not relative to an ideal work week that rarely actually happens, and certainly not necessarily today for many people. Momentum matters more than volume. And don't forget, by the way, to give yourself a pat on the back for achieving whatever it is you've got done, however little, quote unquote, you think it might be. Now, the third lesson is something most entrepreneurs overlook. When normal routines disappear, we're forced to confront a very powerful question. What am I actually best at? Now, in the work of Daniel Priestley, he often talks about identifying your unique ability, the thing that you do exceptionally well that creates the most value for you. And today there's an additional layer to that question. Ask yourself, what is it that you do that AI cannot replicate so easily? What do you do for people specifically that they come to you? What is it that you do that generates, I would call it, disproportionate results? Because crisis periods are incredibly revealing. They strip away that sort of busy work. They strip away unnecessary meetings. They force you to confront the core of your value. And if you use this period of crisis, be it war or illness or otherwise, to rediscover that, you come out of the disruption far stronger than before. So here's a big takeaway for you. You cannot manage time. We've said it more than once on this channel. But you can manage focus, expectations, and priorities. In difficult periods, successful entrepreneurs do these three things. They protect small windows of deep focus. They define what meaningful progress really looks like, and they reconnect with their unique value. If you do these three things consistently, you don't just survive disruption, you build a business that's more resilient and more intentional than ever before. Now, if you found this video useful, make sure you subscribe so that you receive new ideas from the 172 group as soon as they are released. And if you want to explore these ideas in more detail, I'll be hosting a webinar shortly called No Time, All the Time, Managing Your Business When War Gets in the Way. We'll go much deeper then into the practical frameworks that you can apply immediately, and I hope to see you there. Till next time.